And I'll just resume our recording here. So hello, everyone. Hello, welcome. You can see it's myself, AJ, back once again. And this time I have another beautiful guest, that side of me, Savitha Hosamane. And I can see people are calling in from Toronto. We've got Newcastle, the Hunter Valley. Oh,
Jairam. Jairam.
Yeah, do
Jairam.
you know? Calling from Bengaluru in India. We've got Jenny from Newcastle. Thank you for saying good morning to us. And Savitha, you're in Bangalore in India, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a truly global summit. So exciting to see everyone coming online. We have had a couple of little technical issues just with getting bandwidth today because everything's so popular online at the moment. But thank you all for persevering and coming on and joining us once again. The SuperHuman Summit, this is day 4. So we are officially halfway, can't believe it. Literally, Michelle Crawford and myself, my fellow colleague, we set this up in 2 weeks. So it's been an incredible feat getting it all happening. And we have a beautiful team behind the scenes. So thank you to all of our team who are helping us getting this live and out there, and especially when we're all working from our own separate homes. But welcome, everyone. So let me tell you a brief little bit about Savitha before we get underway and into her presentation. And she does have some slides to share. So it's wonderful to actually see your face first before we move on to slides. And what a beautiful smile you have. So Savitha is going to talk to us today about from chaos to consciousness. Ooh, I just love this topic already. And I loved it. We've been in email communication with each other, and I already know she's going to have an amazing presentation for you. And it's kind of how to become aware of chaos in work life and bringing in a solution of the spiritual dimension of consciousness to address chaos. Oh, it just makes my brain already go, yay, and my soul. And when bringing in consciousness into our lives, we tend not to get disturbed by the disturbances of the outside world. And that's happening for so many of us right now with COVID-19. It's brought up a lot of our stuff, shall we say. And when you can remain untouched like that, and I know Savitha says like a lotus flower, and I know how significant lotus flowers are in India, and having seen many of them at the temples, and the whole concept of a lotus flower being able to come up out of the mud and still rise and be beautiful. You know, it really symbolizes that seat of consciousness. And when you get, I guess, able to rise above all of those disturbances, then you can become a master. So this is the key to self-mastery that you're, I believe, going to talk to us about today, Savitha.
Yes.
So fabulous. Are you happy to share your screen and get started? And I'll drop away in the background and let you talk. But remember, everyone, you can ask questions in the chat box, which is at the bottom, or the Q&A section. So Q&A is best if you want to ask an actual question, because we'll see that more quickly because it will pop up for us. But also there is the chat box. So if throughout you want to agree, disagree, ask a question, make a comment, say yes, yes, yes. You know, if you agree with something Savitha is saying, then it's great to put a Y in the chat box so that we know people are in agreement. And also those of you who are streaming in now from Facebook, hello to everyone in Facebook land, because I know we're live there. Anyone who hasn't gone across there that's in Zoom right now, you can hop over into Facebook Live, and the group is called the SuperHuman Summit. And just looking there, I know we've got Michelle and Joe's there in Coogee. Hello. And we're going to rise above and be the master. Yes. Hello, Jamie. I can see Jackie Dodson. Hello, everyone who is joining us in Facebook land as well. So I'm going to hand over now to Savitha, who is in Bangalore in India, streaming live to you right now with Chaos to Consciousness. Over to you, Savitha.
Okay. Thank you, Alexandria and Michelle, for this wonderful opportunity. And I thank all the participants who have logged in right now. And so let's start the session. Before we start, I would like to, I know that people have logged in from different time zones. So let's do a small activity of breathing in and smiling out, so that we clear everything and we start with a clean slate. I'll just give you the instructions. All of you, you can close your eyes, take a deep breath, and as you breathe out, as you breathe out, you need to smile. So let's do it 5 times. This is a very good activity to start with. So everybody close your eyes, breathe in, and breathe out with a smile. Again, breathe in and breathe out with a smile. 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 Now, very, very gently open your eyes, and now you are ready. See, this activity actually helps you to come to the present moment, because I say that bringing spiritual dimension into our work lives, anytime we are disturbed in our work lives, just take this moment off. Even sitting on your seat, you can start this with this activity and come to the present moment. And then when you look at your work, it will have a different quality altogether. All right. Now, coming to the topic, cures to consciousness. I'm sure that people all over the world now, we have a global fear of this COVID-19, as Alexandria already mentioned, and we are actually stuck with fear, right? Fear is within us, it has gripped us to a very large extent. So now, my definition of fear would be face everything and relax. FEAR, face everything and relax. Probably many of you might ask the question, how can we do this? Face everything and relax. So what I would like to do is, I would like to start with a small story for you guys to understand how exactly chaos is and consciousness is, and where is the relaxation point. There was a Zen master who had been invited to uh, address a small gathering of 30 people. It was on a ninth floor. And so around 30 people, they were sitting and they were listening to this addressal which was going on. And it so happened that suddenly, in the middle of the conversation, like how we are having a conversation right now, there is an earthquake. And everybody gets frightened of the earthquake, and so they get up and they start running hither and thither, and few of them even get down. And towards by another 2 to 3 minutes, the entire crowd starts running away from the gathering, from the living room. And then the host who is there, he also starts running away, seeing the panic in the crowd. Then he just turns around and he looks at this Zen master, and he sees the Zen master. He is sitting with closed eyes, with not even a ripple of anxiety on his face. Then this host, he feels a little bit guilty of leaving his guest alone. So though he is trembling from within, he gathers courage and he goes and he sits in front of the master. And the earthquake comes and it goes after some time. And then the master opens his eyes and he will start his conversation exactly at the same point where he had left before the earthquake started and the crowd started running out. Then this host says, Sir, I'm not in any mood to listen to what you're saying. I just want to understand how come you were so calm and undisturbed when each one of us got disturbed so much. I'm still shaking with fear, as you can see, he says. Then the Zen master says, every one of you escaped. I also escaped. You escaped outwardly, whereas I escaped inwardly. I escape to a point in my body, which is called as the center point, that is the center of silence. And this host, then he realizes that, okay, this Zen master is already prepared to receive any kind of disturbances, whereas unlike him, he has to start his journey. So, in the same way, the earthquake is the external chaos, and the fear which is there is the internal chaos. This is how we understand the chaos. One thing is, because of the situation that we are in right now, let's say COVID, that is causing lot of external chaos. I'm sure, like even after the lockdown period, the situation is going to be different. We need to live life differently. We can't live in the same way like how we were leading our lives all these days. So that is where the need for this entry of this spiritual dimension enters into our lives. Even we all need to practice some measures where we can reach our silent point. There is a silent point, a center within each one of us. Maybe few of us might find that hard to believe, but yes, of course, there is a center which is the center of silence. And if we can access to that center and stay connected with that center, then we can remain relaxed at any point of time. Today we are facing COVID, that is the external chaos, but there are a lot of other insecurities which we face, challenges, everyday challenges in our work life, in our relationships, in the way which we deal with our teammates, the day with the way with which we deal with our jobs. There might be like customers saying no to you, your orders might get cancelled, or sometimes we have to reach the deadline. There is a lot of pressure, stress and anxiety which we all face. So during all these stressful times, if we are able to perform our work and still stay connected to our center, that is how we can be able to address our situations in a more calm and a peaceful way, where fear comes in. We are facing everything. We are not saying no to anything, but we face everything in life and still stay relaxed.
I
And
love that, Savitha. I've heard of fear being suggested as false expectations appearing real before, but I haven't heard the version you've just shared, which is that face everything and relax. I'm wondering, are you going to share with us how we can find that present moment and go within?
yes, I'll be sharing it. So, this is the topics which I'll be covering for today. I'm just setting the context. So we just understood why there is a need for a spiritual dimension in our work life, so that we can harness the spiritual energy. Meaning to say, like, if you want to reach to that point of your center of silence, that is where the need of spiritual dimension in our work life comes in. And then introduction to chaos and consciousness, and how we identify this chaos in our daily life, and 6 steps to dissolve the chaos, and then the benefits of spiritual growth and how we can start off with that spiritual growth. These are these are the topics which I'll be covering for today. And as we already saw, the need for spiritual dimension, and to make everything easy and understandable, because this is few of them might find this topic is slightly complicated, so I have taken examples from the outside world and also from nature, so that we can relate to it very, very easily. If at all you look at this picture, this is again the external chaos, the earthquake of San Francisco in the year 1989. So you can see the destruction which was caused by the earthquake. The destruction which is caused by external chaos is not within our control, right? And look at the way they rebuilt the entire thing. Now they have built houses which are capable of withstanding these earthquakes. So that means that now they are to a very large extent prepared to face any new earthquakes, right? Similarly, in our lives, we also need to be prepared from within, so that we are able to face the disturbances. And how do you think chaos comes in? I would like to relate our mind to the sea. Most of us have seen the sea and the waves. The waves, when the sea is calm, like when our mind is calm, the waves are also flowing very gently and smoothly. But what happens when there is an external force like wind and turbulence is caused? Then this waves gets disturbed, right? And as this waves gets disturbed, whenever there is an external cause for us also, say for example, now it is COVID, our minds have already got disturbed. But even in nature, there is uh, but if you go to the ocean, to the depth of the ocean, there is a deep point where these waves cannot actually disturb the depth of the sea, right? The depth of the sea is very calm and still. So this is how nature is also showing us that if we go within ourselves, if we go deep within ourselves, we can also be calm and stable like this. And so that we don't get disturbed by, now I am sure each one of us, when we look at our credit card bills, this is how we react. We tend to get disturbed. So disturbance is always on the surface. Remember the ocean, and uh, the way to become conscious is at the depth. And so now let's start finding ways of reaching to the depth of our inner depths. And uh, as I said, because this is our work life, I would like each one of you to identify few of your issues for which you regularly get disturbed, and you can start working on those issues as well. So
So you're
firstly,
wanting everyone to think in their own mind what are kind of two issues that they're dealing with. Are you suggesting in their work life or anyway?
yeah, if at all they can, I'll give them some to 30 seconds so that they can just close their eyes and think what are the top three areas which they are getting disturbed. It can be in the area of health, just to help them, or in the area of wealth, or in relationships. These are the three major areas where we usually tend to get disturbed. So I would like each one of them, if they can just make a note, and if they can share it in the chat box also, it would be good.
Great. So if everyone shares in the chat box their three top issues, and they could be in health, wealth, or relationships, in any of those areas, understand how personal or not personal you want to be, but it might be just, you know, at home relationships, or maybe with your team, or whatever that might be. Thanks.
Yeah. So if you guys are done with your brainstorming, then now we will move to the next slide. So now what we need to do is, we need to actually throw this reasons which are actually disturbing us. Just like we, after we throw dust into the dustbins, all the reasons for the chaos which is actually disturbing us, we need to throw it like this. So now let's look at 6 steps to dissolve the chaos and move towards the silent center. The goal is like we have to move towards the silent center, right? But there are so many obstacles which come in our path. So now let's see like what are all the obstacles. Like as I said, I would be taking examples from nature. So the step one is what I call in my language as pond to river to ocean. If you look at this first picture, you see that there is a pond. There is beautiful nature around us. Even now, wherever we are sitting, if we just look out of our windows, we can see beautiful sunlight. Or if it is evening for you, you can see sunset and the stars, the wind, the birds. Because of COVID, there is no pollution, so we can experience the beautiful fragrance of flowers also, in case we have a mini garden in our house. But are we connected to those points, or are we stuck in our own issues? The pond, which I'm showing you as the pond, is like our mind. It is always stuck in this pond, and we are continuously worrying, like, how do I come out of the situation? What do I do? Uh, like, why is this troubling me so much? So now, what we need to do is, we need to move to the silent center and we need to be relaxed. So we have to break the boundaries. Now, this water has to reach the sea. Similarly, you have to start your journey of reaching to your silent point, and just bringing in that kind of analogy so that it will be easy, so that you start flowing. The pond has to start flowing like a river. So when we say this, the first objection that comes is our mind, which says that no, it is not possible. And there is also a small voice within us which says that it is possible, but we need some extra energy. So for that extra energy, now is the time where we can bring in meditation into our lives for that extra energy, where we can break these boundaries and we can start the flow. Yeah, right? And but the minute when I say meditation, most of you might say that it is not for me. I don't think so. I have the potential to start a meditation. I have tried it earlier and I have never succeeded.
I know
These
lots
are
of
the
people often say that. We're just getting a few people sharing some of their challenges. We're getting disturbance during order, lost or order not coming through despite efforts, sleep disturbance, stress eating in health on the Facebook group. We're getting the stress of doctors on the front line. Essential workers are so brave and scared, feeling distanced from the pandemic. It's weird to be unaffected and missing grandchildren.
yes, these are these are the things that which we are currently facing. I do agree. When you are unable to meet your loved ones, or when you are stressed, all these things do exist. But one thing is, we have to understand that this is the opportunity where we have got that, where we can start our inner journey, and we have to strengthen. See, only when we are calm and we are collected within ourselves, we will be able to be a strength to our families, right? Otherwise, it is not possible. So first we need to take care of ourselves. This is a journey where first and foremost we have to be a bit selfish and work towards ourselves, so that we become a tree, and then in the shade of the tree a lot of people can come and take. It is our own family members, our near ones and our dear ones, who can take the shade. Since we are still not yet equipped, so let's start equipping ourselves and understand that yes, it is possible. So now we need to move from the negative angle towards the positive angle and say that yes, it is possible. I will do it. I will do it for myself and for my loved ones, because I love myself. If at all now, coming back to the slide, if at all we look at this, even a water droplet, to understand our potential, a water droplet which is at the bottom of the valley. Now we are at the bottom of the valley. The situation right now is we are at a very low point, right? But we have the potential to reach the topmost point. So we need to understand that we are all gifted human beings, and we are in this beautiful time where we have got time for ourselves, to explore ourselves. We all these days, though we had a lot of anxiety, stress, and tension in our work, in our relationships, we were not able to give that time to it, because of we were also running with uh, our own journeys, and we didn't have time. But now we have the time. Yes. So let's use this time in a very productive way, and in let's utilize our energy. So when we are at the bottommost of the valley, yeah, yes, you want to say
I know
something?
some people have said they've got more time because they are working from home and perhaps not doing all the social things that they once did. But also, a lot of people I've spoken to actually say they've never been so busy and they're finding themselves in back to back Zoom meetings all day long.
Yeah, so some of us were gifted, some of us have become busy. So for them, there is something called as action in meditation. So in every moment of yours, you can be meditative, and you can have that quality where you will be able to prioritize things, and even in back-to-back Zoom meetings, you will be able to give the best of your energy. So you have to become a reservoir of energy within yourself, so that you start harnessing your energy, and you will be able to radiate it at every point of time. You have to see, when I say meditation, it is not just silently sitting. This kind of meditations where I am talking about is active meditation, where there is action in meditation, in every action of ours. Now, going forwards, yes, when we eat, when we sleep, the way we treat people, everywhere we have to bring in our consciousness levels. We have to raise our consciousness levels. If we are not doing it, then life will be a bit more challenging. So let's make it easy for ourselves. Let's bring in that consciousness to ourselves, where we start becoming aware. So this is awareness which we need to bring into our lives. And one more thing is, one is awareness in each step that we are doing, and also in the second step that we need to be conscious of is, like, we have to be in a state of high energy. We cannot be in a state of low energy. When you operate from a state of low energy, then your output quality will be very bad, be it in Zoom meetings, or be it in your work, or any action you take when there's low energy. That energy uh, will not give you a very good output. So we have to be in a high state of energy. To be in a high state of energy and to be in that awareness level, we need to harness, like, I come back to the same point, that we need to work towards our center, where this center is the source of energy. Once you keep tapping that center, it starts releasing energy, from where you will gain that energy to do better things in life. Okay.
So
I'm
does
sure
anyone
most.
have any questions at this point? I know in talking to people a lot about meditation, and we have been this week as well as other times, the concept of a meditation as you go through life, which I would kind of say is kind of like living yoga. But some people have an image of meditation only being when I'm sitting and having my eyes closed. So can you explain a little more for people who maybe aren't familiar with the concept of how do I do meditation through everything that I'm doing?
Yes. Meditation is, see, there was a time 2500 years ago during Buddha's time, where people used to sit silently, and they were able to sit silently, and the mind would calm down and relax. But now, as you can see in the picture also, we are leading a very contemporary life. We are the people where now the mind is running in 100 different directions, and our mind travels faster than light. Light travels at the rate of 3 lakh kilometers per second, and our mind travels faster than that. So you see now, we have become, this is the most chaotic mind that which we have. So for this mind, for us to bring in that kind of relaxation, first we have to address this mind. So how do we address this mind? If at all you look, uh, just like in our, the more we use our laptop, I'll take this example of the laptop, the more junk files are created. So we need to clean the recycle bin, right? Only when we clean the recycle bin, this system functions faster, and we will be able to access our files quickly. So in the same way, even uh, when you say meditation, it need not be just sitting in the one place and trying to relax yourself. No, that does not happen. We have to be very sharp, and we have to bring in that active meditation into our lives. So through active meditation, what I say is, just like how we keep refreshing our computer, we have to keep refreshing our bodies and minds also, and keep discarding the junk. there is a lot of junk in the mind. It is a lot of junk, and we need to keep cleaning the mind. If we are not cleaning the mind, then we slow down. So you can, for those of you who feel that mm, meditation can be in the form of laughter. It is an energy booster wherever you are. If you want to get instantaneously rejuvenated, you can do this 30 second of laughter, where you close your eyes and you laugh continuously, so that that is one way of cleansing yourself from within. Your through your laughter, maybe you might think that people might think I'm crazy, but what is actually happening is you are cleaning yourself from within. And there
I
is
love
some.
that. I love the idea of sitting laughing, and who cares if people think we're crazy, right? I think that's a fantastic way to, and to be really present and in the moment. And you're giving us a beautiful example. So it could be accessed in any way. It doesn't just have to be when you're feeling zen and sitting with your eyes shut.
Yes. And then for those of you who are very active, what you can do is, but one thing is, like after you laugh a lot, then you can sit in silence for 3 to 5 minutes. That is when you actually start going within. It is not just laughing. And then after you laugh, that silent sitting is very important. And if you are on the go, you can even switch on music, dance with high intensity for 5 minutes, and then sit down silently for 5 minutes. So this is how you re-energize yourself. And in the process of dance, or in the process of this laughter, you are throwing out your inner junk. Do you realize
Excellent.
that you're cleansing yourself? So these
So
cleansing.
maybe people could be using their phones more smartly and having a reminder every hour to have a dance-a-thon, even if you're at home, do some movement or something, get your body going, have a laugh from the belly. So I love those. They're really practical ideas. Yes, Faith is saying love the dancing. Jennifer's saying love both those ideas. Really practical things that we could do. And I think even after COVID, we should be taking these back into the workplace. And I can see that Stephen Barclay is online on Facebook. And I know at the hospital he's been working at in Mount Abu for many years in India, they do traffic management, as you call it, or they stop and have meditation breaks throughout the day, and everyone does it on staff. So I'm really keen for dance breaks as well. I think that's great.
And there are, see, these are things which you can implement it on the go. And what you can do it, you can start a regime. Like there are varied other kinds of meditation where you can do it in the mornings with music. No meditations, when I say active meditations, all the meditations are with the music. And you can listen to the music, and there is a guided instruction with it, so you can follow it. And as you start implementing it, you can see the quality of your life will also keep on changing, and your levels of consciousness. Most of you might think that, okay, I'm de-stressing myself. Along with de-stressing yourself, you also will see that a sharpness comes to your work. You will be more spontaneous and more active. And when, like as I said, when the mind is running in different directions, you will be able to converge your mind. Be in, what do you mean by saying be in the present moment? Be in the present moment, it is like when you can give your total energy to the present activity that you are doing in. Yeah, we say multitasking is actually delaying the process. Scientifically it's been proved also in a lot of research which I have read. They say that it delays. See, when you are listening, listen with your heart. Don't listen for the sake of listening. Listening is a spiritual phenomenon where you bring your inner being to your ears. So that is where, and when you're sitting with a client discussing, your mind will be running back saying that, oh, now I have the next meeting at 4:30. I have to rush. That should not be the case. Be there. When you are in a meeting, see to it that you are there and finish the task, and then only move to the next task. So that is how you stay in the present moment. You live your life one moment to the next moment, and then you see that you will increase your levels of consciousness, as also you will be increasing your productivity, and thereby your revenue will go up. Shall I proceed, or do you guys have any more questions?
Has anyone got any questions there right now? I know I've just said I love the listening with your heart, that whole idea that listening with your heart is actually a spiritual process. I know people have said that they love the dance and the ideas. Any other questions right now? Otherwise, we'll continue. There's none at the moment in Facebook land.
Okay, so like as I said, the barriers to when it comes to doing any task, or when it comes to doing meditation, the barriers is our belief system. Our belief system is not which we have actually gained through our experience. We tend to believe lot of things. Even now, like as you said, most of us are using our mobiles. We just open one WhatsApp message, we read some news, and we tend to get disturbed the whole day. So we are spoiling the quality of our life with believing things. Rather than that, what I would say is just go and find out for yourself the real truth. Whatever it is, let it be your exploration, your experience, and your ways of experimenting with things. That is how you will be increasing your levels of consciousness. When I say you're increasing your levels of consciousness, that is when you start moving closer to the center. Let us remember that our whole goal is moving towards the center. And
Can I just ask, I've had someone ask in Facebook who the picture is behind you on the wall, because you've got a beautiful big picture there behind you.
That's the picture of my master, my spiritual guru, who has helped me to come to whatever stage of my life it is. Like as I was saying about belief system, let me share a very beautiful aspect of my life with you, if it's okay with you guys.
Yeah,
See, at the age of 11, I was diagnosed for a psychosomatic disorder.
someone wants you. Tell them
Yeah.
we're streaming around the world right now.
Yeah. Uh, so I was diagnosed for a psychosomatic disorder at the age of 11. What happened was, uh, this psychosomatic disorder did not get healed. I tried all types of medication. If at all you know, in India, we have varied system of alternate systems of medicine, Ayurveda, homeopathy, Siddha medicine, name it, and I have undergone that kind of treatment to get healed. But it was of to no avail. Nothing happened much. And then I have been visiting, like as you know, India is a great spiritual center, and we have lots of different kinds of faith. So I have visited the churches, I have visited the mosques, I have visited the temples. Anywhere where somebody said that you go and do this, my parents used to take me there with that sole intention that I should get healed. So this went on for a period of 30 years. After that, I said, now I won't take any medication, nor will I visit any more spiritual centers or anything. So it was by chance I stepped into meditation. Like somebody like this invited me for meditation, and I took it for the fun of it, nothing else. But what I found was, what healing didn't happen for 30 years, it's my skin started healing. And that was when I was able to experience a beautiful life. See, I had never worn sleeveless in my life because of this, and I could not swim. There were so many restrictions because, except for my face, from the neck down till the feet, my skin was totally with scales, and I have suffered a lot because of this. But with meditation, my skin healed. I'm sure if there are any psoriasis patients, they will understand what the pain of it is. And then, with meditation, my skin healed, and I found real freedom in my life. That is where I
Wow.
said, do not believe anybody. When somebody says, okay, you go to that temple, it will get healed. No, it didn't happen. I am a living example for it, where I can tell you that no, it was my own effort and my own ability to understand my mind, that my mind is stressed and tense, and because of that stress and tension, it has manifested on my body, and thereby this havoc is this disturbance between the mind and the body is what is causing so much of havoc on my skin. And when I started relaxing, you see other change. So it
Wow.
was it
It
was
shows you
through
the
this.
connection between the body and the mind. A few people, both on Facebook and here, are saying, is it Osho? Who's the name of your spiritual master? And other people are
Yes,
commenting how much they can relate to it.
yes. Yes, he is Osho. So we do have a picture of him at home also, and a small space is dedicated as meditation place. So this, whatever I am doing, this is a dedication to him as well. And through this space, I am operating and giving. It is his message which I am transmitting. There is none of this. Whatever I have shared is my wisdom. I'm
Oh,
just the instrument.
it's beautiful. And there's people, you know, I don't know if you're like me, but I feel like tears coming to my face saying that's amazing. Thank you for sharing your story. And it shows you how much it is yourself and calming your nervous system and getting clearer in your mind, and how supportive meditation can be, obviously for you, for your skin disorder, but for all sorts of things for many people.
Yes, and like as I said, see, it is not only in my health as well as when it came to my wealth also. It took me 2 years to author my first book, Erupt with Joy. Like as I said, that is when I actually erupted with joy, and the entire experience is shared in the book, Erupt with Joy. And during this lockdown period, we started with the book called as Chaos to Consciousness. I co-authored with one of my mentors. He is my business consultant as well, where we consult for companies, and our experiences with entrepreneurs who experienced this spiritual dimension and brought about a change in their productivity levels. That is what is covered in this book, Chaos to Consciousness. And so when I saw this, I thought, okay, hey, let me just try, if at all I can, if at all I am eligible for this summit. And that way, you guys gave me the opportunity. Thanks.
To
That's
share. And here you are. And when you first said scales to consciousness, I thought you meant like David Hawkins' scale of consciousness, like the actual levels. But you're meaning scales, are you?
yeah, but those levels of consciousness are also there. Probably it is in my next slide. If at all you see, how we can make our energy as delight. There is body energy, there is mind energy, and there is consciousness energy. When if all these three energies are in harmony, that is when we become healthy and whole. And when we become healthy and whole, we become a reservoir of energy. And uh, our intelligence levels goes very high. We become very sharp, very quick, and alertness sets in. And like everybody is talking about awareness. Only with meditation, we tend to become aware of ourselves and our energy levels as well, and we are able to harness our full potential. And bringing the same thing to the workplace, you can see that each person in the organization contributes something of his energy to the organization. And the team energy is there, and the collective organizational energy. When they are in a harmony, that is when the team is healthy and we have an engaged team, when there is a feeling of inclusiveness, and the team functions at its optimum, and you can see those such kind of teams which reach to the highest level, and they deliver the best quality, and your customer is happy with you. So
And I
the
know I use a model similarly with organizations that's a circular one, but it starts at the individual level, then the team level, and then the collective as well. In your view, is this something that you begin with at the individual level first, or can you start at the team or organizational level? How do you access that? And just so you know, we've got about 3 minutes or so to go before we need to open up for Q&A.
Okay, okay. See, it is because I deal mostly with small and medium organizations. It is the business, it starts with the leadership level, the one at the top. When they become the role models for it, it goes from the top to the bottom. Because in an organization, it is just like everybody looks up to the leader and they gain the energy from the leader. It is the energy of the leader which gets transmitted. So thereby a leader has got double responsibility of taking care of himself and his energy levels so that it gets transmitted in the organization. Yeah. And it's okay. This is how I draw analogies to all the steps we and the evolution of consciousness. Uh, I just want you guys to focus on this yellow one, where we start with the lowest level where we are totally unconscious, and then we move to the unconscious mind, and then the subconscious mind. In the subconscious mind, most of you might have heard that your subconscious mind is more powerful than your conscious mind, because the seeds are sown in the subconscious mind, but it cannot differentiate between what is right and what is wrong. And most of our mm, unwanted desires and wanted desires and suppressions get stored in this below the conscious mind. And conscious mind is where we start feeling, and we are conscious, bring in awareness. That is the level. And above it is the sub super conscious mind and the super conscious mind and the cosmic conscious mind. So now we have to move towards these levels. When you start moving towards these levels is when you start becoming close to the center. When you start harnessing your spiritual energy, you see that when your meditation is right, your response to situations every day, like what most of you said, that you have so many stresses, anxieties, and the fear of not meeting your loved ones. All this is there, but the way you respond, see, that is more important. Whatever might be the situation, the way you respond to the situation is more important. And you tend to become more productive and creative. You'll find creative and productive ways of reaching out to yeah, the situations as well as to yourself, and raising your levels of awareness levels. So, like, these are all the benefits of the spiritual growth in our work as well as in life when we start becoming close to our center of silence. So, this is the, like, I've just tried to summarize the benefits, and I'm just rushing through because we are towards the end. And the keys to start a spiritual growth, it starts with one basic thing, is to love yourself first. More than anything else, one has to start. Only when you love yourself, you will take care that, okay, this is what is troubling me. I will see to it that this does not trouble me. And you will start distancing yourself. The way you start distancing yourself shows how much of love we have. Most of us say, yeah, yeah, we love ourselves. But do you know, we are the ones who hurt ourselves the most in life rather than anybody or the situation. COVID is there, okay. It is giving us a disturbance, but we have the choice, right, to say yes or no to it. Because we are allowing it to disturb us, it is disturbing us. The minute we say, hey, get off, man, I don't want to do anything with you, it can come and stop until your door. But if you don't allow it, it won't come within you. This is my take on how we start. So, your first step starts with loving yourself. Your love should be, that is where I said you have to be very, very selfish. Love yourself to that extent where nothing and nobody can disturb you.
And what you're saying is going to be a perfect segue, because the next speaker, which we will have to end in a minute or so, is
Sure.
Shireen Smith, and she's going to be talking about self-treasuring, which is all about self-care. So do you want to share how people can get in touch with you? The scale and the diagram that you showed earlier was really super juicy and valuable, and I think people will want to pore over that. If it's possible, if you could send us a copy of that we can post into the Facebook group, if you're happy for us to do so with your attribution, it'd be great to be able to share that with people so they can have a look at it in more depth.
Okay, let me think. You want the last two slides which I shared, is it?
Yeah, that would
Okay,
be great.
fine. I would be happy to share it. And like before I end, this is the first book, Erupt with Joy, and it is available on Amazon for people who want to buy it. And Chaos to Consciousness, we will be releasing it in the next month. And whoever wants to get in touch with a copy, a discounted version, can write to me at savitha@hasaman.com or culture@hasaman.com. This is our company. And for those of you who really want to see that, have a little bit in-depth discussion, you can have a free one-to-one session. 20-minute session is what like I would be offering for your team, how to bring in spiritual dimension in your workplace. If we can have a small chat, you're more than welcome. You can connect with me on Facebook. Savitha Hosamane is my name, and savitha@hasaman.com is my email ID. You can send out requests, and I'll see that I will address to all of your queries sooner or later.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on the first book, Erupt with Joy, which I love, yes, because it is my name. And if you are looking to get chaos to consciousness, you've had a little taste of it here today. As we said, we'll pop some things into the Facebook group. And if you're wanting to take Savitha up on that beautiful one-on-one session offer, please use those email addresses that are there. So great to have all of you here online with us. If you do have other questions or anything, please put them in the Facebook group as well, so Savitha can go in there and have a look later. The Facebook group, a reminder, is called The Superhuman Summit. You have to put the Superhuman Summit. It's been delicious and delightful. Thank you to you and to Osho for coming through with you as well, and all of the lineage of all the great people and beings who have been before us. Thank you for coming to us from Bangalore in India today. It has been amazing. Namaste.
Namaste, and thank you for the wonderful opportunity. Thank you, guys. I didn't get a chance to read through your chats, but nevertheless, you can. I'll go through the recording and I'll
We'll
see.
share with you later. There's lots of thank yous. Everyone's saying yes, the copy of the slide would be great. Thank you from Jennifer, Nosh, Saravan. Yes, so many thank yous. Mahubub, nice to see you in here again. Thanks, everyone. And our next speaker, Shireen Smith, will be on shortly. So hop across to humanpower.com.au/summit. Bye for now. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.